Hey, welcome back to another Legionwood guide. I'm going to start outside the city, and I'm going to kind of show you one of the extra areas that I alluded to at the end. If you missed it, that's fine. The ending editing didn't go quite so well, and I didn't want to redo it. Anyways, I'm going to have links in the description as to when each section is. Still, if there's just something you want to skip, you can go ahead and skip to there, although there's not going to be much to skip this time. So when you talk to this lady, going through down the center stairs, soldiers are no longer blocking it, so you can go ahead and talk to her. And there's going to be this little extra dungeon you can go to, kind of like when we're locked in prison, although not quite the same. Sorry if you hear my air conditioner in the background, it's warm as heck. But you can kind of see it now. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Our south path is blocked, so we can only go to the right, the east. And there's going to be some levers to pull, and we'll be able to open up the spikes. It's going to be kind of annoying. I went through it once. Hopefully I don't get too lost in the process. Now I do recommend, if you're not going for all the beasts, just to do the Cliff Lord. They're fairly tanky. You're going to probably be taking 2 rounds to do it, which just adds up. And it's just not super fun. The mages can cast a spell that just kills one of your characters outright. The knight can do sure strike, so it hits for a lot of damage and it can't miss. The gargoyle can stun you, chomp you, mute you, get your defense down, does a lot of damage, doesn't take a lot of damage, at least from slashing weapons. So there's not a whole lot of advantage to fighting mobs here. They are worth a fair amount of XP. When you fight all 3, you're getting about 7,000 a pop, but they don't have any drops, so you're not going to even have anything to sell at the end of the day. And it's not like you're going to have something to throw if you use them in combat at all, which I don't do. But there's not a huge benefit into grinding into this specific spot. The next dungeon, I believe you'll get similar-ish benefits. Now, here at this point, make sure to save in case you fail, so you don't have to redo it, and to equip the correct weapons. Because if you have your ultra weapons, you won't be doing quite as much damage as you'll want. Also, notice where character 4 and 5 are. 5, sure, they didn't account for the bug, that's fine, but the 4th one is stuck in the wall still, which is kind of funny. Alright, so she can do a fair amount of damage, so you're going to want to take that into account. I was trying to parry strat before, and she's kind of hard to stun lock, so I'm just going to go into the damage. Power Crush heals her. Keep that in mind, so don't use that if you use that in your strats. I know one of the guys I was looking at does that. So I recommend taking your first turn to kind of get some buffs going on some of your damage dealers, so you can do damage. Okay. She does a lot of damage, and she can do AoE damage. She does have a one-hit kill spell. The Toxify spell doesn't work on her, but the Imperial weapon that I have equipped to the dual wielder still procs it. It does about 8,800 damage. If you get that proc, it's amazing. She tries to cleanse the poison if you manage to get it. I personally have dumped a lot of crit into her, so when she does crit with Sharpen and the defense down, I know that's a lot to add. It's 8 plus a pop, so I've done 24,000, including the poison damage with just her. It's absolutely amazing. I have beaten this boss with 4 people. It is harder to do. This is just a lot easier with 5 because the 4th and 5th characters that I have are just healers. So, I can have one do revive and one do heal, and then if everyone's doing good and can survive around combat, I can just nuke them, or try spell, or whatever, just dump all my damage into them. It's good. It's efficient. Ooh, see? 8,000. And I have like 30 points that I didn't dump into her at all. So That's part of it. Now she's going to have some text that's going to come up because of where her HP's at. That's when it triggers. When she does do that, she will prioritize casting her magic boost. So I will still get a tox trigger out of this, which is going to be huge. I don't have a huge sample size to run on this, but that's the consensus that I've gotten on what this boss's behavior is. So that's something to keep in mind. So that means I have 2 free turns. One, because she's self-buffing, and the second, because she's debuffing. I haven't tested, now that I think about it, and I don't think I'm going to try, because I don't think I need to, where you do the remove the buffs off of them to see if she'll recast it. That would be a cheeky little exploit. If you do try it, let me know if it works in the comment section, because that would be interesting. Otherwise, I'm going to keep doing double strike. It does a fair enough damage, and I don't think these two crit for enough. And I think it's slightly more consistent on its 2 hit rate. I should have been doing sure strike. That might be a better idea to do. I did that on my first run. I don't know why I haven't done it so far. But it looks like I'm going to have to bring up one of our characters. That's the time slip, the one-hit shot. Thankfully, didn't hit our damage dealer. That's kind of the big side. And because I put that lucky charm on her so early, she's got so many extra levels. She's just tanky by virtue of having level stats plus all that HP. It's pretty great. And then Lon's just tanky as all get out because I've dumped stats into him from the spices. And I forgot to unequip, if you haven't noticed, my ultra items. Just giving a demonstration is the deficit you go into when you do that. But yeah, there's Crumble. If she hits a magic user, it's just a tickle. It's pretty great. It's why I kind of like magic. It just does so much in this game. Obviously, don't do it on the dual wielder. Although, I suppose you could try a strategy where you put 2 1s. Because not all of them are two-handed. Energy bomb. See, that hurts. But they were... almost all of us were full health. I could have been handling this a little bit better. I'm trying some new techs. Just for fun, although I should be showcasing a better general strategy. Alright, she's out. I mean, that's it. She's going to be worth a lot of XP. The Miracle Loot's okay. I don't really use Halo Charms all that much. If you have a strong opinion on them, let me know. I'll be curious to see what you guys think. But I don't have a particularly strong opinion. They might be useful versus bosses, but I'd rather them just be dead and get the status effects in. I'm going to give you guys a little look at my character pool that I'm using so you have an idea of how strong I am when I was fighting, so that if you're on the weaker side, you'll maybe I'll wait a little bit. I don't think this is locked out, but you have to do this before the final dungeon if you're going to do it. And this is what the item looks like. It's 150 magic, the 50 attack we don't really care about, and the hit ratio I don't think matters. But going from 492 to 604 is pretty significant when you use the magic, the quick mind, the equivalent of sharpen. You add half your stats, so 604 would go to 904. So we're approaching 1,000, which is quite high in this game for stats. Just the base stat plus whatever your tech does, which I don't know. I haven't looked at the scripts, and to do that I have to de-encrypt some of the files, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. We can see we have plenty of stats I could have dumped in, and we did all right. I mean, we could have done a little bit better. but our team was manageable. Well, that's going to be it for this time.